Hi everybody, hope you're all well. The last Bovaer vlog, wow, quite a few people commented saying that they'd heard that M&S have stopped the use of Bovaer, and more than one, 2, 3, 4, around that amount, and that's fair enough to go, this needs investigating. So I got AI to trawl the internet, and just so you know, this is me disclosing that I've used AI. I'm not hiding behind it like those UK Plate Crisis and Crisis Report UK and all the others. But AI is really good for trawling, so it's looking for M&S, Bovaer, the words discontinued as well. It's just really flashing through the whole internet, and it comes up with a report. Because nothing from M&S to state that they have actually given up Bovaer has happened. Someone did say in the comments that they rang at the call centre and was told on the phone that the M&S had stopped it, but they're being told by just a call centre worker. This isn't someone. If you're going to really believe it, you've got to believe it direct from an M&S press release. It's just not, there's no other way to know that it's true, because that's just some individual who probably may not even know what Bovaer is, but it's just saying, yeah, they've stopped it, whatever that, you just don't know. It's not enough. We need an actual statement from M&S themselves, and they have not come up with anything. And this is why. So I've got AI to sort of trawl the internet, and this is what it's found. Based on a comprehensive search across web sources and X, formerly Twitter, as of December the 5th, because that's when I did the thing, I found no direct evidence that Marks and Spencer's had stopped using Bovaer in their dairy supply chain, bearing in mind they're using it on all their non-organic farms. And actually, what I did realise, and this is where I had made a slight mistake as well, because the statement you're seeing on the telly now, it's Muller talking about how they're processing milk for their retail partner. Now, when this first blew up, I actually didn't know that M&S was using Bovaer at the very beginning of this in December 2024. And when I saw that statement, I assumed they were talking about Arla, because they don't mention their retail partner. I just thought that that's who they were talking about. But now that I know more, for starters, Arla were only using 30 farms. Notice in the statement which you're reading right now, it says 40. And since, I know a lot more now, it's been a whole year, and when my spotlight sort of started to look at M&S a bit more closely, I realised that they are actually using 40 farms that are Muller owned. Obviously, out of that 40, some are organic, and organic farms do not use Bovaer, whoever is producing it. I trust that. It's up to you whether you trust it, but I do trust that. If you're going organic, you're not going to risk it for using some chemical additive. It's only on non-organic farms, because it's not a permitted substance. You lose your organic status, basically, if you used it. So it made me realise really recently that I thought, oh my God, that actually is referring to Marks and Spencer's. And notice it says programme, it's not a trial. M&S are never doing a trial. It was something that they were wanted to do right up to 2040, because that's their target for net zero or whatever, all that net zero nonsense. But that was their aim. You'll see it on the screen now that's their initiative, that they were targets were for 2040. So this was a permanent, non-trial use of Bovaer across their non-organic dairy farms. So the hearsay appears to stem from broader backlash against the additive, particularly reports of cow health issues in Denmark and subsequent pauses in Scandinavia, but it doesn't extend to M&S in the UK. Here's a breakdown of what the data shows. M&S began a 1 million rollout of Bovaer across all 40 of their select dairy farms in April 2024, aiming to cut methane emissions by around 30% and reduce their fresh milk carbon footprint by 8.4%, equating to around 11,000 tonnes of GHG annually. This was explicitly tied to Bovaer in announcements from M&S, DSM Firmenich, the manufacturer, and industry reports. And they did put signs up in their stores saying we're really proud to be using the methane inhibitor. No updates indicate discontinuation. The initiative is described as routine on their non-organic farms. And that's the sources is that Dairy Reporter, April 2024, Dairy Global, April 2024, Plant-Based News, same month and year, and DSM Feminist, LinkedIn, 2024, and a couple of other sources, all saying the same thing. So, in recent coverage, and that's like this last couple of months, November, December this year, a Daily Mail article from early December 2025 explicitly states M&S had been using Bovaer since April 2024 in their 40 supplying farms, framing this as part of their net zero push by 2040. It notes public backlash but doesn't report a halt, only that M&S avoided naming Bovaer in promotions to dodge controversy. So they're deliberately, because they say methane inhibitor, they don't use the name, and they're paying for it directly from DSM Feminist, so they could use the name. It's if you wanted to say you didn't have any Bovaer in your dairy farm and you wanted to put that on your label, you wouldn't be able to use the word Bovaer because it's trademarked. You'd have to say no methane inhibitor on this farm. Or, that's a lot of words to put on a label, but they should do it. There should some sort of words to indicate that they're not using an methane inhibitor. We'd all know what they would mean. Other reports echo this, listing M&S as potentially exposed via Arla sourcing, though M&S's programme is independent. I think it's meaning that, the backlash towards Arla is going to impact M&S, as it should. Don't use Bovaer, it's a simple fact. Or suffer the consequences of consumers deliberately avoiding your brand. No official statement from M&S, so searches for M&S press releases, sustainability updates or customer responses yielded nothing on discontinuation. So AI's trawled through the M&S websites, social media accounts, because they have Facebook and probably Instagram and all the others. Nothing on there saying that they've discontinued. Their website and recent reports still reference the methane reduction programme without retraction. So, and it goes on to sort of why, hearsay and speculation sources. The sign removal video, this is actually mine. It talks about my video. It doesn't know that I'm me. Do you know what I mean? A YouTube video from the Food Files, November the 20th, 2025, claims M&S quietly removed in-store signs promoting a methane inhibitor, implied to be Bovaer. And it had, hadn't it? Because the year ago when I went round the M&S, they had their sign up, and this time they didn't. So the signs are gone. It doesn't mean that they've stopped using Bovaer. After Danish cow distress reports, the timing, that was the timing. The creator visited stores, this one, compared to an earlier video, the one a year ago, and speculated this signals a pullback, as in they don't want to publicly be seen to be using a methane inhibitor because they realise that it's negative. Whereas before, when they were, a year ago, before Arla really started, because bearing in mind, M&S were doing this before Arla were, that's pretty, no one really knew. No one really knew till Arla made the big announcement, and then it kind of blew up as to what this Bovaer was. Because I didn't know before Arla made that massive announcement. However, this is anecdotal, no confirmation from M&S, but that's what happens when M&S don't make an official press release. You speculate. And it could just be rebranding to avoid backlash, as noted in the Daily Mail. X posts amplify this, with users sharing the video and calling for boycotts. Boycotts? Oh my God. Boycotts, but it's not evidence of stopping use, just hiding promotion. X discussions, semantic and keyword searches on X show heated debate, with posts urging boycotts of M&S dairy, e.g. M&S used Bovaer as routine, they quietly removed the signs, and demands for confirmation. And one user, an ex-user, tagged M&S in November 2025 asking for an update, but no reply is public. Bearing in mind, you'll see it on the screen because it's via Messenger. So M&S have a Facebook page. This is probably the easiest way to contact them, but I don't know why they're not replying to me at all. I don't know whether it's because that's the clothing. It's just M&S. It doesn't say that it's whether or not it's the food section or the clothing section. It's just M&S, so it shouldn't matter. And I've asked them, nothing. I've asked them again a week later, nothing. You're seeing it all on the screen, and they're just completely ignoring me. So M&S, respond to the consumer base. I'm a potential customer. If you didn't use Bovaer, I'd come in and buy your dairy. So ignoring your consumers is absolutely insulting and very, very rude, and quite frankly makes me want to scrap you off to add to my naughty list. Bearing in mind it's Christmas, you're on the naughty list for sure. But whether you remain there forever is the way you're handling this right now. And I'm talking to you directly, M&S. Broader sentiment ties this to the Scandinavian pauses, e.g. Norway's Tyne suspended nationwide in late November 2025 after Danish reports of cow deaths, diarrhoea and milk yield drops, fueling speculation M&S might follow. And bearing in mind, I really wanted to add this, because those people that think Bovaer's okay and all that, they go, oh, but the FSA say it's safe and effective and all that. But the FSA used research that was given to them by DSM Firmenich. Now tell me if that's not, is how independent is this is the makers. It's like saying, oh yeah, I've made this. I'm going to give it to you. This is my report. I've tweaked it so it sounds fantastic, and here you are. This is for you to approve it. It's not from an independent source. No one knows how long this might affect humans, because there are traces in the meat, as FSA have admitted in that clip. The thing you're seeing on the screen right now, the research base that they used was, they didn't use real world scenarios. They didn't use it in herds. They didn't use it on real life events like farms. They just used it in small, tiny groups of cows, and in ranging doses, so that some of those cows died if the dose was too high. This is Bovaer. That's a fine dust particle. Yeah, sure, it's a really small dosage when they give it to in this mixed feed. It's really aimed at intensive farming. Eating grass actually makes Bovaer less effective. So why would you use Bovaer if you're a retailer like M&S? Why would you want where are your cows going? Or are they just feeding Bovaer in the winter when the cows are indoors? Either way, we're talking about a chemical additive that is altering the cow's ability to burp. Cows are not the problem, and this is the reason why I'm so against Bovaer. So I'll stop ranting now and get back to the... So getting back to that, the reports of cow deaths, etc., that's happened in Denmark, etc. And bearing in mind also, the Danish government have said that if your herd becomes ill, you are allowed to stop using Bovaer. That's been a new sort of side rule on the use of Bovaer. It's still mandatory, but if your herd becomes ill, you're allowed to stop it. And I think the Danish veterinary organisation was very vocal about that being happening, as far as I can understand it. Broader context on Bovaer backlash: Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, have paused or ended pilots due to farmer reports of adverse effects. I mean, we know this. It's just going over the history of it, really recent history, e.g. collapsed cows, reduced milk yields, etc., infertility, etc. All these sort of reports that it can find trawling through the internet. DSM Firmenich maintains it's safe. Of course they do. No residues in milk, except that there are, as that little thing I put on the screen states that there is. It's traces and won't reach levels of concern, but hey, that's okay then, But consumer boycotts and sales drops, e.g. Arla milk delisted in some UK shops, are real. In the UK, Arlo ended its trial early. It's sort of around a month early because it was due to end in December at some point, but it ended in November. Sort of just under a month, but it ended early, just when the Denmark thing was really heating up. But M&S's program is separate and predates it. Apparently Mars continues using it despite the storm. And it's just sort of, that's something that I need to delve into, and I will be looking at that. Is that what they... Oh no, that was palm oil. Anyway, recommendations. If avoiding Bovaer, stick to organic M&S dairy, but I would just scratch M&S off your list because it is prohibited by the Soil Association standards, or switch to confirmed Bovaer free brands like Fresh Range, Graham's or McQueen's, etc. There's a lot more. We know what the Bovaer free options are. Boycotts are gaining traction. Sentiment shows many have cut M&S spending by 50 plus a week, redirecting to local farmers or other non-Bovaer sources. Next steps for confirmation: contact M&S directly. I'm trying via their site or on X. Maybe on X. Let's do it on X because I haven't tried X actually. I didn't think about that for a current statement. Yeah, I'll do it on X, and if you can, go on my X account and try and sort of find it. I'll add a link to it, and then maybe you can add your thoughts on that same post. So I'll put a link to my request for from Marks and Spencer's for a statement. The link will be in the description, so you can add, if you're on X, add your thoughts to why you think M&S should stop Bovaer. Oh, and another thing. Someone actually, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Lorraine. Someone sent me so they'd contacted RSPCA. M&S have RSPCA emblazoned on all their dairy. It's on in their trolley park where RSPCA endorse their dairy farms, etc., etc. But RSPCA do not approve of Bovaer being used on farms. So how come? Why is RSPCA endorsing M&S when it's using Bovaer? That's not right. So I have contacted the RSPCA. As yet, I've not got a reply, but I did contact them on Friday, late Friday. It's now Monday morning, so hopefully by the time this actually is edited and goes out, I will have a reply. If I do have a reply, it's on the screen right now. Fill your boots. And it might be an ongoing discussion with RSPCA because, quick interruption, because I actually have a reply from the RSPCA with regard to Marks and Spencer's and their endorsement of RSPCA and their endorsement of dairy farms, rather. I am rushing this slightly, but I'm on the school run and I'm editing that vlog at the moment, and I wanted to really include this. RSPCA, you're seeing it on the screen now. Thanks for getting in touch. Hi Kerry, thanks for getting in touch. The RSPCA has taken a precautionary approach and the use of Bovaer is not allowed in the RSPCA welfare standards. This means it cannot be used as a feed additive on any RSPCA assured certified farms. Well, oh my God. I mean, Marks and Spencer have got RSPCA plastered everywhere. They've got it in the trolley parks. They've got it on their actual milk. They it's plastered everywhere. So, that's absolutely ridiculous. They then go on to say, due to membership confidentiality, we're unable to comment on the use of Bovaer by any retailer, supplier, farms. For your further information, you would need to contact them directly. Now, I gave them this screenshot that you're seeing. You've seen it before, and I said to them, "Look, Marks and Spencer's are using Bovaer, and you're endorsing them." And I've heard, because I think it was Lorraine that gave me that email saying that you didn't. And you were right. I mean, this is RSPCA coming back saying they shouldn't be used on RSPCA assured certified farms. So I have replied, and you're seeing it on the screen now, and that's today, right? This literally 20 minutes or an hour ago. So my reply to that is, except the RSPCA endorse Marks and Spencer's which use Bovaer. That isn't a question for M&S. That is a question directly to the RSPCA. Why is the RSPCA publicly endorsing Marks and Spencer's when they have been using Bovaer since April 2024 publicly? Because I think they used it for a little bit before then, and they are still using it. See attached a picture. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Picture M&S sign next to their milk, which has your endorsement on their labels. I look forward to hearing from you. And then I've got that picture. You'll see it. It's on part of that where you can see the RSPCA on their milk, and at the same time you can see we're using a new feed supplement to reduce methane emissions, which is Bovaer. RSPCA, sort yourselves out. You shouldn't be endorsing Marks and Spencer's when they are using Bovaer. Ask them yourselves. You deal with them, and you do an audit and remove your endorsement. If you aren't allowing if Bovaer is against the rules, as it were, in your endorsement scenario, why are you endorsing it, Marks and Spencer's? Stop it now, because that's outrageous. So I'll leave the email to the RSPCA in my description. So if you want to email the RSPCA and let them know how you feel about Marks and Spencer's using Bovaer, go ahead. Might make them do something about it. So get back to that vlog. RSPCA should not be endorsing M&S if M&S are, well, they should full stop not. M&S have been using Bovaer. They haven't stopped as far as I can tell. Watch this space. And then, I want them to stop. So prove me wrong. If you've found some sort of statement that AI couldn't find, and it's in black and white from M&S, not hearsay, it's not enough. We need actual evidence. Then that's fantastic. Show me, and then M&S have to come out and say whether they are or aren't. If they're saying nothing, then they still are, and that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you on the next one. We'll watch this space because more will develop. Take care. Bye.